Welcome to another deep dive, and this time we're tackling one of the biggest names in history, Albert Einstein. I mean, everyone's heard of him. He's like the poster child for genius, right?
Super.
But sometimes I think we forget that there was an actual person behind all these incredible theories.
It's easy to just think of him as this, this larger-than-life figure.
Exactly.
But he had a life, a real life.
And that's what we're going to explore.
Exactly.
So we've got a ton of material here about his life, his work, his impact.
It's amazing how much he accomplished.
Yeah.
And how much his ideas still affect us today.
So we'll dive into who Einstein was, but also what the world might look like if he hadn't, made those incredible discoveries. I think there are some surprises in store. For example, did you know that Einstein wasn't always seen as this brilliant mind? I mean, especially when he was younger.
That's right. It's funny, isn't it? We often think of geniuses as, just born that way. But Einstein's early years, they were, they paint a very different picture.
Yeah, totally.
There's this great story about him as a child, just 5 years old, being completely mesmerized by a compass. That simple little tool. The idea that something unseen, a force, could be moving the needle. That's what sparked his curiosity.
5 years old. That's pretty amazing. But you're right, it wasn't all smooth sailing. He actually really struggled in traditional schooling.
Okay.
It makes you wonder, right? How many brilliant minds are out there, but they just don't fit the mold?
Absolutely. It's a reminder that we need to embrace different ways of learning, different ways of thinking, because genius can blossom in the most unexpected ways.
Okay, so let's fast forward a bit. Einstein ends up working, of all places, in a patent office, which, on the surface, it doesn't exactly scream scientific revolution.
No, not really.
But then 1905 arrives. It's called his Annus Mirabilis, the miracle year. Can you tell us what happened during that year? That really, changed everything.
Well, it was a truly extraordinary year for him. He published four groundbreaking papers, each one a major contribution to science. But it's his theory of special relativity that, it really turns our understanding of the universe upside down.
Okay, so I have to admit something here. Relativity. It's one of those things I find both fascinating and totally confusing.
Oh, I can understand that. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
Can you break it down for us? Simple terms. What makes special relativity so important?
Sure. One of the key takeaways is that famous equation, EMC You've probably seen it before.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But what does it really mean? It's the idea that energy and mass are fundamentally connected. They're like two sides of the same coin. And this simple equation has had profound implications for how we understand the universe, and for things like, nuclear energy, for example.
Whoa, okay. So are you saying that if Einstein hadn't made this connection between energy and mass, we wouldn't even have nuclear energy today?
It's impossible to say for sure, of course. But it's very likely that the development of nuclear energy would have been, significantly delayed, at the very least. And think about the ripple effects. The Manhattan Project, the Cold War, the entire geopolitical landscape of the 20th century could have been drastically different.
It's just incredible to think about how one person's ideas, could have such a massive impact on everything, on history, on technology, on the world. But I'm guessing that not everyone was immediately on board with these ideas. I mean, they were revolutionary.
You're absolutely right. Einstein faced a lot of pushback, especially from established physicists, like, for example, Lorentz and Wien. And these were brilliant scientists in their own right, but they were deeply rooted in classical physics. And it's understandable, right, that they would resist ideas that challenged, the very foundation of their understanding.
It's like that saying, what is it? Science advances one funeral at a time. It's kind of a morbid thought, but it seems to be true a lot of the time.
There's definitely some truth to that. But it's important to remember that this resistance, this clash of ideas, it's actually crucial for scientific progress. Einstein's insistence on questioning established assumptions, even those held by, the most respected figures in the field, that's what ultimately leads to groundbreaking discoveries.
So the conflict, the debate, it wasn't a bad thing.
Not at all. It forces scientists to really rigorously test their theories, to refine their arguments, to defend their ideas. And it's through this kind of intellectual battle that, truly groundbreaking ideas emerge. And our understanding of the universe deepens.
And I'm guessing that this clash of perspectives, it becomes even more pronounced with the development of quantum mechanics, right?
Exactly. And this is where we get into the famous debates between Einstein and Niels Bohr.
Bohr.
Yeah, he was a key figure in developing quantum theory. which, proposes that events at the atomic and subatomic level, they're fundamentally random. They're governed by probability, not by, strict determinism.
And this is where Einstein famously says, God does not play dice with the universe.
Yes, that's one of his most iconic quotes, and it perfectly captures his discomfort with the inherent randomness at the heart of quantum mechanics. He believed there must be some underlying order, some hidden variables that we hadn't discovered yet that would explain this seemingly chaotic behavior.
So why should we care? Why should we care about two brilliant physicists, arguing about the nature of reality almost a century ago? What makes this debate so significant, for us today?
That's a great question. And the answer is that the Einstein-Bohr debates, they weren't just about equations and particles. They were grappling with some of the deepest mysteries of existence. If events at the most fundamental level are truly random, what does that say about cause and effect? About our ability to predict the future? It raises these, profound questions about the limits of knowledge and the very essence of what we call reality, questions that, physicists are still exploring today.
It's mind-boggling to think that these questions about the very nature of reality sparked by Einstein and his contemporaries are still driving scientific inquiry today.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
It's a testament to the power of his ideas. It really speaks to the enduring power of his ideas.
Yeah.
He wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo, to push the boundaries of what we thought we knew. And those questions, they continue to resonate. They inspire new generations of thinkers.
Okay, so We've talked about how revolutionary his ideas were and how they sparked some pretty intense debates. But let's shift gears for a moment. Let's play a little game of what if.
Okay, I like it.
What if Einstein hadn't come along? What would our world look like without his contributions?
Ooh, that's a great question. It's fascinating to think about, Well, let's start with something I bet you use every day without even thinking about it. GPS.
GPS.
Okay. Did you know that GPS relies on Einstein's theories to function accurately?
Wait, really? I had no idea GPS had anything to do with Einstein.
It does. Specifically, it relies on his theory of general relativity.
Right.
So GPS satellites, they're constantly moving in orbit, right?
Right.
And their clocks, they actually run slightly faster than clocks here on Earth because of the difference in gravity. And without accounting for this time dilation, it's predicted by general relativity. Your GPS location would drift by miles each day.
Whoa. So my phone wouldn't be able to tell me where the nearest coffee shop is.
Pretty much.
That's a world I don't want to live in.
Yeah, I hear you. It goes way beyond that, though. Accurate GPS. It's essential for so much navigation, communication, even financial transactions. It's become, so integrated into our world that we take it for granted.
Okay, so no GPS. What else? What else would be different in this Einstein-less world?
Well, remember we talked about nuclear energy earlier.
Uh-huh.
The development of that would likely have been delayed without Einstein's insights. Imagine, the Cold War, global power dynamics, even our energy sources today. It's a completely different picture, isn't it?
Yeah. It's amazing to think about how these, abstract scientific ideas, they often seem so confined to textbooks and laboratories. But they have such a tangible impact on our daily lives.
It's true. And Einstein himself, he was a testament to that. To that interconnectedness between science and the human experience. He wasn't just a brilliant mind working in isolation,
Yeah.
He was deeply engaged with the world around him.
Right. And his personal life, it was far from simple, wasn't it? Marriages, divorces, family dramas. It's a reminder that even geniuses, they're human, right? They're dealing with the same joys and struggles as the rest of us.
Yeah, absolutely. His relationships, they were often complex, tumultuous even. But what I find particularly inspiring is his unwavering commitment to social justice, especially his anti-racism activism.
Yes, his letter to the NAACP, denouncing racism in America. It's incredibly powerful. It really shows his courage, his willingness to speak truth to power.
He states in that letter, the separation of races is not a disease of colored people, but a disease of white people.
Yeah.
These words, they challenge the prevailing narrative of his time, and they still resonate powerfully today.
Yeah.
It highlights how his brilliance extended beyond the scientific realm. He used his platform to advocate for equality, for a more just society. It's a powerful reminder that intellectual prowess, it carries with it a moral responsibility to engage with the world ethically.
It's really inspiring to see that. Despite his personal struggles and these intense scientific pursuits, he never lost sight of the the human element.
And that human element is so central to understanding the impact of his work, his theories,
Yeah.
Especially those on time and space.
Yeah.
They weren't just about equations and data.
Mm.
They fundamentally challenged our understanding of reality.
I have to admit something. I've read about relativity, seen the documentaries, but I still struggle to really wrap my head around it. What does it really mean for time to be relative? It's one of those things that it boggles the mind.
I get it. Well, think about it this way. Time, it isn't this absolute unchanging thing, ticking away at the same rate for everyone, everywhere. It's actually influenced by gravity and motion. Your experience of time is different from someone moving at a different speed or experiencing a different gravitational field.
So it's not just our perception of time that changes, but time itself is actually different.
Exactly. Imagine two twins, one staying on Earth, the other traveling near the speed of light. When they reunite, the traveling twin will be younger due to time dilation. It's like time itself is a river flowing at different speeds, depending on your proximity to a massive object.
Okay, that analogy actually helps. So it's not that our clocks are just running differently, but time itself is actually flowing at different rates. That's incredible.
And then there's the concept of warped space-time, which basically says that gravity isn't a force in the traditional sense, but a curvature in the fabric of space-time, caused by mass and energy.
Okay, I'm trying to visualize this.
Think of it like placing a bowling ball on a trampoline. It distorts the surface, right? Creates a dip. And anything rolling nearby, it'll curve towards it. It's kind of like how mass and energy warp space-time. They influence the path of objects and even light.
So planets aren't just orbiting the sun because of some invisible force pulling on them, but because the sun's mass is actually warping the fabric of space-time around it.
You got it. It's a completely different way of understanding gravity.
Yeah.
And it has profound implications for how we view the universe.
Wow. That's mind-bending. I'm starting to see why Einstein's ideas had such a huge impact, not just on science, but on our whole way of thinking about the universe.
Yeah.
And our place in it.
Exactly. He pushed us to think beyond our everyday experience, to question what we thought we knew about the universe and our place within it. And these ideas, they've permeated far beyond science itself.
Right. It's not just physicists
You bet.
pondering these concepts. Einstein's work has had a profound impact on art, literature, philosophy, our entire cultural perception of reality. He made it okay to think about these big, mind-bending questions.
And that, perhaps, is his most enduring legacy. He opened up a world of possibilities, not just in science, but in the way we approach knowledge and understanding itself. He showed us that the universe is full of wonder and mystery, and that the pursuit of knowledge is a journey worth taking, even if it leads us to, uncomfortable or unsettling truths.
It's like he gave us permission to be curious, to embrace the unknown, even if it means, getting a little uncomfortable along the way.
And that discomfort, that willingness to wrestle with these difficult questions, that's where true growth happens, is what pushes us to expand our understanding, both as individuals and as a species.
So let's bring it all home. We've covered a lot of ground: Einstein's childhood, his revolutionary theories, the controversies, the impact on our world, the personal struggles, the philosophical implications. It's been quite a journey. What stands out to you as the biggest takeaway from all of this?
For me, it's the realization that Einstein wasn't just a scientist. He was a revolutionary thinker who fundamentally changed, how we see the universe, our place in it. He showed us that the seemingly impossible could be true, that our understanding of reality is constantly evolving, and that evolution often comes from questioning what we think we know.
It's like he unlocked a new dimension of thinking, not just about physics, but about everything. And it makes you wonder, what other Einsteins are out there right now in all sorts of fields, asking questions that will, reshape our understanding of the world.
Precisely. And if Einstein's work could have such a profound impact on fields, far beyond science, it makes you think, what seemingly niche topic that you are interested in could have far broader implications than you realize?
Ooh, now that's a thought-provoking question to end on. It's a reminder that we all have the potential to make a difference, to contribute to the ever-evolving tapestry of human knowledge and understanding.
Absolutely. Keep exploring, keep learning, keep challenging assumptions. You never know where your curiosity might lead you, or what impact your unique perspective might have on the world.